your favor? Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned with us. We have an exciting conversation coming up. We have on set with us, we're graced with the presence of none other than Miss Universe Belize 2025, Miss Isabella Zabani.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you and the Black Orchid crown live and direct on set. How does it feel wearing that crown and that sash today?
It still hasn't sunk in yet. It's very surreal.
Yeah. So let's go back to Saturday night.
When you called my name.
Yes. Before that though, the jitters perhaps or the emotions entering that stadium, knowing that this is the night that you've dreamt of for a long time. Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind?
So one of my biggest prayers for the night was that I wouldn't feel nervous, that I wouldn't, I would just go out and give it my all and not have any butterflies. And by the grace of God, my prayers were answered. I wasn't nervous at all. I think being able to just have the right people backstage with me and great music from the DJ, I was dancing backstage, I was just having a good time. That really helped me to be able to just give my best on stage and not worry about what else was going on.
What was it like interacting with the other ladies, understanding that there's a balance between a perspective that these are my friends, if you would, sisters who've built a sisterhood, but at the end of the day, only one of us could wear this crown. How do you balance that?
Well, throughout pageant week, I think we've said it time and time again, and I stand by this. This was the best class of girls I could have ever imagined. At no point did I feel like there was a hard, strong competition feeling. We were all just, I mean, I can't even think of the words. Everybody was so kind and so generous and giving of their time. It would be like, Libni, can you help me take pictures? Oh, of course. Do you want to make a TikTok with me? Of course. You know, like there was never any real malicious anything, you know, and I really appreciated that. And from the very beginning of the whole process, I made a point of telling people, do not compare any of these women because they're all so uniquely perfect for this role, and I know only one can come out on top with and walk away with the crown. But I mean, my goodness, all of them. I'm so incredibly honored that I got to walk through this journey with them.
Yeah, and being on stage in front of this large audience, everybody cheering, the lights are bright, they're very bright lights on stage. What goes through your mind while you're on stage, whether it's for the swimsuit, the question and answer, which comes with its own pressures, the evening gown. We could only see what your body is expressing, but mentally, what are you thinking?
I will say I love being on stage, so that's never been an issue or something I've struggled with. But the stage lights, I couldn't see anybody in the audience except for the people directly to the side of the runway, which conveniently is where my family was, so I got to see them going crazy, which was awesome. And then my other sister queens, so Miss Earth, Miss World, Miss San Pedro, and the current Queen of the Bay. So all of those sister queens that I now have, they were really the only people I was able to see, and that was really sweet because they were just the most supportive people. But not being able to see the rest of the audience, I had a love-hate relationship with it because you could hear the screams, but I love seeing the faces and the reactions. But at the same time, because I couldn't see anything, it was like nobody was there. So it was just like, you just keep doing your thing.
Yeah. Now we go to the moment where yourself and Monisha Hyde were announced as the top two you all go in front of the stage, in front of the audience, and you hold hands. And then your name is called as the Miss Universe Belize 2025. How surreal was that for you?
So I said this yesterday. I knew the work I had put in was worthy of a top 3 placement, or at least that's what I think. I gave my all and I left my heart on that stage, and I would have been satisfied knowing that I put my best foot forward, whatever the outcome was. But to be able to be holding hands with Monisha, who I'd had conversation with prior to this whole process, even beginning before applications. So to be able to be in top 2 with her was really special. But the surreal feeling of it, I was just shocked.
Yeah.
I couldn't process it.
That.
As much as I wanted the crown and was hungry for the crown, there's always a part of you that thinks, my goodness, I might not walk away with the crown, which I would have been okay with, that's very big for me to admit, because wanting this so much, you never want to say, I'll be okay if I don't win. But to be able to do that with her and be there with her, she gave me the biggest hug, and it was so sweet. And I'm honored that it was her and I holding hands, truly.
How do you navigate the chatter following a pageant, following results, whether it's in favor of you, in favor of another candidate or a delegate, so a delegate at the time, whether it's positive, whether it's negative? You have to navigate this. Do you stay away from the conversations on social media? How do you navigate that?
Well, thankfully, I've had my sister and a couple other people actually log into my accounts on social media, so most of my posting has been done by them. I'll respond to messages, that's all me, but as far as making posts and looking at comments and things like that, people are dealing with that for me. Negative comments, this is actually really funny. I haven't seen a single negative comment yet. I have only seen the responses to the negative comments, so people are defending me, which I kind of wish I could see the negative comments, because I want to know what they're talking about, because then people are just like, well, ta-da-da-da-da-da, and you're like, well, who's saying something negative? But I'm kind of oblivious to it, and I like to think that ignorance is bliss sometimes, and so the fact that I'm not seeing it is a good thing.
Clearly, the judges thought, and based on a system, that you were deserving of this crown, and clearly you have a huge support system behind you as well. Not only family, this extended family, there's fans, some that may have come into the auditorium supporting you, and some that perhaps grew to support and love you that night. However, there is perhaps a group that, well, let me ask it this way. What would you say is the biggest misconception about you and the person that you are?
Oh, okay, so this is something I mentioned in my personal statement. I recognize that I grew up a lot more blessed and fortunate than some people.
Yeah, you did say that.
And that's something that I've battled with for a long time, because people have often framed it as something that is negative. But like I said in my personal statement, you can choose for your privilege and your blessings to be a bridge to different communities. It doesn't have to be a wall. I've gotten the perception, or people have communicated this perception, that I'm this high-reaching, unattainable person, and I don't think that's who I am at all. If you ask people back home, I'm not just a village gal. I walk around in comfortable clothes, and I don't care what people think about me. Half the time you'll see me barefoot playing with kids in a park. Like, I am not this person who sits up on a high horse, and my nonprofit has given me the opportunity to take what I've been blessed with to be able to bless others. And so I think through this process, like, that's one thing I want people to understand about me. My last name is my last name. I didn't choose it. My skin color is my skin color. I didn't choose it. But neither of those things mean one particular thing about me that's a stereotype or a perception.
Yeah, and we saw you taking pictures with that horse, and you weren't sitting on a high horse, you're actually standing beside the horse. Beautiful pictures.
The horse is my equal.
Yeah, right? How do you now prepare for the world stage? This is a huge deal. We're talking Thailand, we're talking a lot of dozens of countries. This is a different level. How do you prepare, first of all, mentally, before you even get into the physical and advocacy and all of that?
Well, I've said this before, but as much as I wanted to become Miss Universe Belize, I didn't step on that stage for Belize. I stepped on that stage ready for the universe. And you can never be perfect, so there's things that I can refine, of course, and speech and walking and elegance and poise, all of those things can be perfectly refined before getting to Miss Universe. But I stepped on that stage hungry for the Miss Universe crown. And I know that Belize hasn't placed in a very, very, very long time. And so I'm going to give it my all to be able to make history once again. And just like queens before me, like we love Belize and we want to make a difference here and change the narrative of pageantry in Belize. And so as far as preparation goes, I'm blessed the organization is giving me a little bit of a break before we go into like heavy Miss Universe training. But I'm just gonna give it my all. I'm gonna wake up every day knowing that this is a blessing and this is what I wanted. And even if I'm tired or exhausted, this was my goal. And so I'm gonna give everything for it.
And school, you're also on an academic journey, correct?
I am.
Where are you right now in your journey?
So I have 2 more classes left before I finish with my master's in professional communication, which seems so close but so far. The program I was doing is in person only. And so I'm trying to find a loophole where I can finish online, because I would love to say that I'm 21 with a master's degree when I'm on the Miss Universe stage.
After completing this aspect of the journey, what's your message to young ladies out there?
I love this question because there's so many different things that you can say. I would say to young women that you are worthy and that you are capable of more than anything you'll ever comprehend. Your value is inherent. You were born with God's blessing over your life and He has a purpose for you. So if you walk in that purpose and really dedicate your life to being the person that you were created to be, the game changes. The narrative becomes completely different and doors open for you that you would have never expected to be opened. And this is a testament to that. As much as I was hungry for this crown, this was a door that was opened because I took a bold step of faith.
And we'll work to get you even hungrier for the world stage and for the Miss Universe crown. As we wrap up, is there anybody you'd like to thank? Anyone you'd like to thank for being along with you in this journey?
Well, first of all, I stumbled there. I have to thank my family, my friends, and my supporters. I don't know who I would be without you guys and where I would be without your encouragement and support. All of my sponsors, there is a list a mile long, and the generosity of people throughout this process has been absolutely incredible. As far as sponsors for Miss Universe Belize, this absolutely would not be able to happen without you, and I'm so incredibly grateful. Businesses like BWS, Next Gen TNC, Madisco is a big one, Maya Island Air, Tipsy Tuna, I'm trying to think, the Big Creek Group, Toucan Inn. I mean, there's so many, and I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for the generosity of them.
Excellent. Well, Bella, thank you so much.
Thank
Isabella, right? It's Bella for short. Thank you so much for joining us on set this morning and for sharing your journey with us. And we do wish you all the best moving forward. I'm sure this is not the last time we're going to hear from you. And
definitely not.
All right, so with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have more Open Your Eyes. That Kent product segment you heard about earlier is coming up next. Stay tuned.